this is Natalie with Treasures of Minnie, and today we're going to be making this really cute Christmas card that also holds a gift card. We are going to use a little bit different colors today, but basically it's all going to be the same. As you can see, when you open it up on the inside, it slides up and down and it holds a gift card perfectly. We're going to use a piece of cardstock from the Brights collection from Stamping'Up, and it is Bermuda Bay color. It's going to be 4 1/4 by 11 inches. Then we're going to use a piece of Whisper white cardstock that is going to measure 3 3/4 by 6 1/2 inches. Then I'm also going to use my circle punch, and I'm going to cut out 2 scallops that they're the 1 1/2 inch scallop punch. Then we're also going to get another piece of that Bermuda Bay Designer Series paper, and we're going to cut it at 3 5/8 by 2 5/8. Now we're going to get a piece of rich razzleberry, and we need 2 pieces of this, one at 3 4 by 4 inches, and another one at 1 3/4 inch by 4. Next, we're going to be using Melon Mambo cardstock, and we're going to need the first one at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and the second one at 1 1/2 by 2 3/4. Now, we're going to be working with the stamp set from White Christmas. I'm going to use this Merry Christmas banner, the car, and the snowman along with the tree. I went on and stamped out the car and the tree in Tuxedo Memento ink because I am going to use those in markers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same colors, I'm doing some tone on tone. So this ink is the Bermuda Bay ink. And I'm going to go around all the edges of all of my papers with the color, with its same color. Now this is a makeup sponge that I just put like a paper clip or a clip like this on the end, and then I store it in a little plastic bag with the name of the ink on it. So now we're using Melon Mambo, and I'm going around all of my Melon Mambo pieces. And now we're going to do Rich Razzleberry. And you can see I'm going to go around all of those pieces as well. And then on my white cardstock, I just chose to do the Melon Mambo to go around it. Series paper Bermuda Bay, you need to score it at 2 inches, 7 1/4 inch, and 7 3/8 of an inch. And then we're going to fold those pieces. Now the 7 1/4 and the 7 3/8 are very close together, but if you work at it, you can get them folded. It's going to kind of look like a little match, like a little pack of matches when you're done. So you want to get those scored and folded over really nice. And then you're going to need to take that white piece that we have, and you're going to need to score it at 1 3/4 and 6 inches. Trying to get this lined up because I'm way too OCD with some of this stuff. Sorry. You see you have like a little spine at the top of it. Now we're going to, like I said, score. You should have scored your white piece at 1 3/4 and 6 inches. And it doesn't matter which way comes forward or which way goes back as long as it's the opposite. So your little tiny tab needs to fold back opposite of the front piece. As you can see here, we're going to put adhesive on that top piece. And then this front flap is going to hold your gift card. Okay, and now we're going to need to get out our envelope punch board. And on our opening flap of the Bermuda Bay piece, we're going to punch. You're going to put your paper at 1 inch and punch, and then flip it over at 1 inch and punch. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the Whisper white piece. So again, you're going to line it up at 1 inch and punch, and then you're going to flip it over and line up 1 inch and punch. And these are going to be the little tabs that help hold your card together. It'll all make sense soon. Okay, now we're going to get out these little tiny glue dots, and I can't find my little pick thing, so I'm using my craft knife. It's probably not the smartest thing, but you're going to put a little tiny glue dot at the top of each corner of your Whisper white. I'm sure one of my family members has used my pick for something and didn't put it back up. And then we're just going to fold that up and press it down. And then that's going to make a perfect little pocket for your gift card. Now, if you're going to stamp on this, we need to go ahead and stamp now before you put it into the blue piece and before you, because once you get it in there, you're not going to be able to stamp on it. So we're going to take the little snowman, and I'm using Tempting Turquoise. I'm going to stamp him out right here in the top corner. And then I do not have any blend abilities by Stampin' Up, so I'm just going to take a few memento markers that I have. I'm just going to try to match the colors that I have going on as best I can. Like here I'm using it, I think it's called Tangelo. And I'm going to go over his little eyes and arms and cold buttons with black. And then I've picked a grape jelly to do on the scarf and hat, along with a, I think that's called something lipstick distress marker. And then I'm going to get out my Winka Stella clear, and I'm going to go over the snowman's body. It really makes him sparkle and shine like he's snow. Now I want to take a scratch piece of paper and put it in there because I don't want, if my stamp hangs over, I don't want it to get, sorry about my head, to get on there. On the back, you'll see what I mean when I pull this stamp up. And we're stamping the Merry Christmas banner. You see when I pull that out, you see how it kind of stamped over on it? And yeah, we don't want to get that on. So now I'm going to take my ATG gun, which I'm getting used to using. My really good friend Claire just gave me this, and I really love it. But you're going to want to put adhesive on that top little flap. You don't want to go below it, though. You want to stay above your score line. And you're going to line this up at the center to the top of the two little score lines that you had on the top. You see you got one here and then one down here. You want to line this up to the top one and get it center where you want it. And then when you get it where you want it, you're just going to fold your card over and press down where the adhesive is. Just like that. And then it'll open and close. Pretty cool. Now we can start assembling the panels and putting our stuff on. So I'm going to, what I did though is I went on and did this before I shot. I used those trees in the White Christmas, and I took some Versamark ink and I stamped it down on this polka dotted piece, as you can see here. And then I embossed it with gold. And then I took a glue pen and I put some glue down on the little snow area right there, and also on the dots and on the parts of the trees, and I put dazzling diamonds over it, and it just looks so pretty. So that's going to be the piece that goes on the top. You can see it shining and sparkling. So all I did was emboss it with gold. So let's start putting our pieces on, and it'll set on top just like that. So I'm going to get back out my handy dandy ATG gun, I think I have it right, and we're just going to start putting on some adhesive. So we're going to start out with our rich Razzleberry piece first. I'm going to put it on the top flap, and then we're going to get our Melon Mambo piece and layer it right over it, and then we're going to come in with our embossed trees. We're going to put that over our Melon Mambo. And then for the bottom, we're going to come back in and layer those up. So first we'll start out with the rich Razzleberry. And then our Melon Mambo. And then you're probably wondering about the flaps. So this is where our little scallops are going to come in, and we're going to use some regular, I'm going to use the green top glue with this. We're going to fold those scallops in half, and I didn't score them, I just folded them and then just burnished them with my bone folder. And then I'm going to put some of the Tombow glue on it on both sides because we're kind of using it like a little clamp. My glue's not coming out. I haven't used it yet today. There we go. I'm going to do this on both sides. I'm just going to pick it up and you're going to wrap it all the way around. And this is going to be what holds that flap closed. And if you just, I love the green top glue because you can move things around a little bit. You've got a few seconds before it sets up, but so you might want to just hold it still for just a second once you get it in place. And we're going to do the other side. Make sure we have it. I'm just eyeballing it, getting it lined up as best as I can to match the other side. And then when I do that, I'm going to get out my clear Wink of Stella pen again, and I'm going to make it sparkly. I was kind of thinking that maybe it would sort of look like a snowflake, I guess. I did end up, after the video, going back and putting some sequins right on these little areas too, because they just were a little too plain. But I just took matching sequins and just put it on there. Okay. Now we need to put, you can see how it closes. That's nice. So now I'm going to use the Memento markers again. I'm using two colors on the tree. I'm using a lighter green and a darker green. I think one is called Bamboo Leaves is the lighter green, and something Ivy is the darker green. And then I'm going to use a brown for the trunk of the tree. And I'm going to use a red for the taillights, a light blue for the windows, a little bit darker blue for the car, black on the wheels, and a gray for the little hubcaps. We're just going to color that in. And I don't have the blend abilities with Stampin' Up yet, but if I would have had them, I would have been able to match these with my cardstock perfectly, but I think I did okay. I'm going to color in the little handles black, and then I'm putting this light blue in the windows. And now I'm going to put a little more Wink of Stella over my Christmas tree. Love this stuff, as you can tell. And then we're going to fussy cut our little car and tree out. And it wasn't too bad. So here we go. Now I'm going to pop our little car up on some dimensionals. And I probably put way more than I needed. I'm going to cut this one in half so I can put like a skinny one on the hood of the car. And I'll just put the other half back here. Alright, and we're going to kind of make it look like it's driving down the little hill. And stick our little car on there. Is this not so cute or what? I love this card. And I love the new colors that I tried it into. So, now for our sentiment, we're going to put Thinking of You, and I'm going to emboss it with the same gold that I embossed the trees with. That'll kind of help tie that together. Sorry guys. So I'm going to get out, first I'm going to lay this down on my mat. This is kind of how I get mine straight. I just kind of put it on that line straight, and then I line up the bottom of my stamp block and then stamp it on there. So I use coffee filters, and I'm using my powder tool. I'm in Hawaii. It's hot here, so I need to use a pretty good bit of this here. And I've got my Versamark and my coffee filter, and you'll see how I use that in just a second. So I'm going to dip my stamp into my Versamark. Now, I have learned with sentiments that are this small, if you press down too hard when you stamp this, it like smushes the stamp and your words are not as clear. So you just want to you know, give it a good, make sure it's on there, but you don't want to like smush it down. And there we go. And now you'll see how I use my coffee filters. So we're going to use this gold. I'm going to open it up. Sprinkle it over my words. It looks really nice. Give it a little tap to get off any extra. Okay. And these coffee filters are great because you just fold it in half. There's already a seam. Dump it right back in. And I guess there's like no static on them or something because it doesn't leave any of the powder behind. So you don't even have to throw it away. I usually use one several times before I toss them. So I heat embossed it, and here it is, guys. That's a pretty little card, and you can open it up and put a gift card in there. Thank you so much for joining me, and remember, you can visit me at www.treasuresofminnie.com. Also, I'm on Facebook at Treasures of Minnie. Also, Pinterest, Natalie Mishu, Mishoe, and give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and we'll have a new card coming soon. Thanks, guys.